Welcome everybody. We are going to do a Mercury retrograde reading for Cancer. So let's see, the retrograde starts on the 4th or the 5th, depending on whatever. So if you're wondering when it starts. Cancer, you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. You also have this unreliable card. It says you're struggling with finishing things you start. Start only one thing at a time and believe you're a finisher. Yes, I think that it is time for Cancers to kind of like finish something in their life. Especially, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Ten of Swords. That's like quitting before you get ahead, right? That's like quitting before you get started is how that's popping into my head. So I feel for a lot of you that it is definitely, if you are thinking about starting something or doing something, that you see it all the way through to the end, even though it's a Mercury retrograde. I start things during retrogrades all the time. Some of those things I still do that I've started many retrogrades ago. Some things I don't, right? Just how it works. But I am a big fan of starting things during retrogrades because if you get started, number one, this looks like an idea that you probably had before the retrograde that you could be working on during this time. So if that's true, then it doesn't even matter that you're starting it during a retrograde. And Knight of Pentacles says that you have all the knowledge and wisdom necessary to get started. He has everything he needs right here, right between his two ears, but he just needs to plant seeds in that field and they will grow. So I feel it's time for a lot of you Cancers to get working on something. And for some of you, this could be love because we have the Page of Cups here. So the Page of Cups could be an admirer or a love offer. And I do feel some of you, not all of you, maybe have your eye on a person, but you're thinking that it's going to end before it even gets started. So that might only be true for like one or two of you. If you are thinking that right now, I would, go for it. Could be an earth sign for sure or a water sign. I would go for it based off this reading because it looks like there's potential, although we'll clarify. Maybe it's terrible. I don't know. We'll find out. I also feel that the Page of Cups, he's got that fish in that cup there. That fish might not exist. We don't know. Just like the High Priestess, we know nothing. So that fish might be part of his imagination. And sometimes I feel the Page of Cups is you imagining doing something or creating something or building something like a goal, wish, or dream. And you need to bring that fish down to earth. I kind of feel that the Ten of Swords is saying that something might have to end for you to start something, or you might need to bring something to an end with the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords, he's making a symbol right here with his hand. And that symbol is the same symbol the Hierophant is making, and it just represents like a blessing in disguise. So I feel a lot of you, you could be bringing something in your life to an end during this Mercury retrograde, but it's probably something that's already dead, done, over with. It's probably something that's already a stinking, rotting corpse in your life, right? Ten of Swords is something that you've been thinking about ending many times before in the past. And once you let it go, I feel like you will feel much better. And whatever, it could be anything. It could be a relationship for some of you, especially if you've dealt with a person who just isn't like getting going here. Knight of Pentacles, like no movement, too cautious, not taking any risk. So I feel some of you could be a connection that you are ending. Let's see. With the Knight of Pentacles, here you go. See, this is what it is. I think some of you could be walking away from a person who's just has no, I was going to say balls, but I'm not allowed to say balls on YouTube anymore, so I'm not going to say balls. But I feel like there's a person that has no balls in your life, and I feel like this right here is a person that has two bowling balls for balls, right? A person who is actually going to make a move, a person who is actually going to do something. So some of you could be attracting like more of an action taker or a knight in shining armor. For those of you that don't want balls, if you don't want a relationship, and even if you do, everybody needs balls from time to time, right? I gotta stop saying that. But what I would say, because I'm sure that lady's gonna leave a comment. But anyway, what I would say is the Knight of Cups could be a dream or something that you are dreaming of creating in your life, and he is normally looking to that cup, imagining his future life. But he needs to get started. He has water in front of this desert, and if he plants seeds in that water, those seeds will grow. So I think for a lot of you, it's time to plant seeds in front of the water so that they grow. With the Page of Cups, you have the World. The World is a card of accomplishment. So I feel for some of you that this could be some sort of accomplishment or you are accomplishing something. This is your opposite sign as well, Capricorn. So I feel a lot of you are just in your energy right now or in your element. I also feel like you're ready for an ending because we have the World, we have the Ten of Swords, And with the Ten of Swords, we have the Moon card. The thing with the Moon is that we don't know where we're going next. The Moon is there's a straight path down the middle of the Moon, but it is a card of kind of like mysteries and darkness and illusions and not seeing things clearly. The Moon, the secret of the Moon is we do really know where we're going. We just need to keep going forward. The Moon comes up, the Moon goes down, the Sun comes up. It's a temporary period of time. So I feel like what you are thinking is like there's nothing after an ending. If I were to sum up this balls reading into like one word, I would say, or like a bunch of words, that you are thinking about ending something. You're not sure if there's something on the other side, but there is. So, don't be afraid to bring something that isn't right to an end, is what I would say. There you go. Thank you, balls. I mean, Cancer. There you go. We'll do a collective as well. So for the collective, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. For the collective, we have this workaholic card. It says, having a strong work ethic and giving it 110% all of the time. It says, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I actually feel like everybody in the collective is going to be feeling very motivated. So again, it could be one of those retrogrades where people really feel more motivated, more energetic, not the other way around. I would say that I do think it's a good time to practice taking a rest or getting rest or taking a break. We have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year, pretty much in the same area of the sky in Leo. This Mercury retrograde's in Leo, and also Mars going retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. And so I kind of feel it's like a little bit of practice for when we get there. Leo is kind of like our life force, our vitality. And so when Mars goes retrograde there, you're going to want to have energy saved up. So if you feel like working, work. If you feel like resting and sleeping, rest and sleep. Like, practice collecting your energy so that when we get to the end of the year, you have more than enough energy to get through the end of the year. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. I think that it's a good idea for everyone to practice resourcefulness at this time. We are literally in a time of resourcefulness. Why do you think all this weird stuff is happening with money and all that other stuff? So Queen of Pentacles doesn't say don't spend money. She just says, be resourceful. If you can do something for cheaper, or, if you can get things on sale, or if you can find a better way to make money, or any of that, that's what I would be looking for, and that's what I would be studying with the Queen of Pentacles. Collective has the Seven of Cups as well. Big dreams at this time. We have Neptune and Pisces. We also have Saturn and Pisces. So Neptune and Pisces is your crazy ass idea. Saturn and Pisces says get your ass moving. And if you actually start working on that crazy idea, then you might just create whatever it is. So I think we are in a time of big dreams. Neptune's going retrograde as well. It is, and Saturn. And so, again, I think that now is the perfect time with Neptune going retrograde to kind of like take that crazy idea and ground it in reality. When you think about it, when it's moving forward, being on Neptune would be like being under 100 hurricanes going 10,000 miles an hour with, high seas, waves, 200 feet tall, the craziest thing you could possibly imagine, right? So now that Neptune is going retrograde, it's kind of like calming down. And now is the time where we could manifest our wildest dreams if we put the work in. So I would make sure to put the work in with that Seven of Cups. You have the Eight of Wands collective. And let me just do this real quick. The Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick conclusion. The Eight of Wands is also good news. But also remember what I said earlier about the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like the slip and slide of life. We have to, and I think this is what everybody should be doing until like 2033. So, almost the next 10 years. I think we all need to be paying very close attention to what causes friction, and we need to pay very close attention to what removes friction from our life and speeds things up. As long as we double down on those things that speed things up or make things more efficient, we will be like 30 times more successful than we normally would be. So make sure you're paying attention. With the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, love is changing. So I think that for those of you that want love or marriage, love is changing. I also feel that this could be the opportunity for blessings. He is blessing these two people in front of him here. So I really do feel that there could be like a really solid opportunity to receive some blessings in your life. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Two of Cups. I think people need to like stop dreaming about relationships at this time as well. So Neptune going retrograde is great because it's like part of my problem with Neptune, especially in Pisces, is it's like the fantasy. It's just mental masturbation, basically. It's like the fantasy feels better than the reality, or actually, you don't know. Because what happens with Neptune and Pisces with relationships is like we get into a relationship, but maybe we just are like talking to the person, right? Or maybe we are just texting the person, and we develop this fantasy around the connection. So the fantasy, we kind of don't want to lose the fantasy, so then we never make it a reality. And right now, with Neptune going retrograde, it's time to, make that fantasy a reality. This could be love, but the Two of Cups could also just be something that you will love in your life. It could, Two of Cups can be you and your higher self, and your higher self is trying to communicate with you, which showed up like 20 times today in all the readings, right? So clearly it's a very spiritual time, and Mercury retrograde can be very spiritual. So I think we have to, if our higher self is telling us to do something, we need to like manifest whatever that is down on Earth. With the Eight of Wands, you also have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles says get to work. Eight of Pentacles is, what's more important than that, though? What I really want to say here, collective, is that Eight of Pentacles is about looking at your work. It's about seeing how much work you have already done. It's about looking at what you have already accomplished and putting that into perspective. Sometimes I think we need to back up and look at everything that we've accomplished, because then it makes the next thing we're about to do 20 times easier. Because if you're too focused on work, you're not seeing that what you're about to do could be easier, and I feel like this is saying, it's like you already have all this knowledge and wisdom, which came up a lot during these readings, and now by putting things into work or putting things into practice, you'll be able to accomplish something, the next thing much easier or faster or whatever. So there you go. Thank you, and definitely enjoy the rest of your week.